Everyone is preparing for what's coming this summer. Video from Homestead Journey. Now, I've said this before in a different video that vacationing this summer will not be the same, none whatsoever. And we can almost chalk it up to what? Fuel prices. Not only do they usually rise in the summer when vacation and traveling is at its peak, but this summer, I think people are going to really choose to stay home. But let's go ahead and check out these clips and see what people are talking about and why they're so afraid of what's happening this summer.
Now we are in at Naja's High Sierra Desert Oasis, and these are the gas prices here. No joke.
I'm not one to fearmonger, but I do believe that this is something that everyone should take into consideration when talking about the state of affairs. So I've been listening to a lot of people's takes and how, you know, the fuel prices will affect certain things, but I don't think people really understand the magnitude of how this is going to play out. And see, I've been a truck driver for 8 years. I've been a container driver for about 4 years, and I'm seeing a lot of shifts in the container side of trucking. And when it comes to fuel is getting up there in almost $6 per gallon for diesel. And people are saying that if oil gets up to $300 a barrel, that's going to equate to about $15 per gallon.
Damn.
Do you know what $15 per gallon for an 18-wheeler will cost? You're going to see a lot of companies, small companies, big companies, go out of business. They're going to take their losses and they're going to get out of Dodge. And it's going to happen rather quick, right? So when you have a shortage of trucks moving product, you're going to have it's going to take a lot more time for that product to get on the shelves, because there are only going to be a couple of companies that's going to be able to move this stuff. And I was just in a driver's meeting 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I was in a driver's meeting about 2 weeks ago. And these companies that ship their products to the US, they're stopping. They're stopping solely off of fuel. Because once the fuel goes up, then the companies hauling said products have to charge accordingly to ship to move that product to wherever it has to go.
Right.
And a lot of companies are getting rid of their contracts with a lot of these companies. So a lot of these companies are losing contracts due to fuel. So not only will you have a large amount of companies going out of business strictly on fuel, but you're going to have a longer time for said materials to get to us due to no one being able to move it. So with that being said, I would rather you play it safe than sorry and start stacking up the stuff that you need to get, that you normally get, because I'm not saying that it's going to be a desert out here, right? But it might just be a desert out here.
So, man, yeah, I mean, you're going to have those supply chain issues when it comes to fuels. People are going to try to save a dollar. Companies are going to try to slow things down. They're going to try to preserve what they can. They're going to kind of budget as much as they can. And we're going to feel it on our end when your favorite snack is no longer on the shelf, when your favorite spice is no longer on the shelf, when your favorite this or is not on the shelf anymore, and you have to wait. And then when you have to wait, it gets competitive. Now you have to wait along with other people that want the same product. And now it becomes a price war. Now who wants to pay for it? Not only do you have to wait, but now do you have to pay for it? You get what I'm saying? It's almost like the pricing of Pokemon cards, but for sugar at some points. Damn, Pokemon cards are higher than giraffe nuts, man. But for real, he does have a point. And not to be the fear monger, but I mean, sometimes you might just have to take a little bit of a gamble and just go stock up on some stuff that maybe you can save for a rainy day. I'm gonna save a few bucks a day and use this. It can go a long way.
I think this year, this summer, 2026, is going to be a repeat of 2020. In my personal opinion, everything that I keep seeing and hearing from food vendors, purveyors who are my friends. I've, owned a restaurant for 10 years, a food truck, one of the best in the country. I'm a very high-end, very highly respected chef, so I have a lot of contacts in the business who I keep in touch with, and we have been discussing how the price of goods, toilet paper, milk, toothpaste, shampoo, paper goods, everything is about to skyrocket. I'm talking double, triple prices in a matter of a couple of weeks. Now, supposedly only the higher ups are talking about this stuff right now. They're kind of keeping it hush-hush in their companies. Now, things get leaked all the time. Hearsay, blah, blah, so on and so forth. I'm a very big believer on doing your own research, but I also, have a lot more time, personal time than a lot of people because I'm waiting to have another surgery. And so I'm currently not working. I'm working, but I'm not physically working out. I'm working from home. So guys, buckle up. I think that the month of May and June is going to be the beginning of hell on earth for America.
Damn.
Now, am I scared? We got through 2020, didn't we? We're still alive. I'm just sick and tired of having to live life on the edge of bankruptcy.
Man, anybody else remember 2020 when it was the worst? People that got furloughed. People didn't even really know what the word furlough really means. And if you still don't know what the word furlough really means, it means we're going to fire you from work and put a pause on the things that you were working on, your benefits and everything. However, you still can work for us. It's the very most vague unemployment status that you can possibly get. We can't let you work. All right, we're going to put a pause on everything at this date. But however, you're technically unemployed and employed at the same. It's the most ridiculous thing that employers did, and they were doing it. So I mean, they had to put a pause on labor. And if you did have to work, man, maybe you were one of the grateful ones. But a lot of people collected unemployment. And I remember 2020, gas prices were weird, but I'm not going to lie, some of the best housing deals, if you could find a house during 2020, you are going to get a phenomenal interest rate. Let's just keep watching.
And not knowing how to pay bills and all this shit, just like all of us. So this isn't to fearmonger anybody. Let me make myself clear. This is just to keep you guys informed of my opinion and my beliefs, and from what I've been hearing from my sources and my contacts. Supposedly gas prices are supposed to go up quite a bit this month, in the month of May. So I don't see many people traveling for summer vacation. Sorry, it's super bright out today. Look at the sky. It's beautiful out. So do your own research, stay informed, because I truly believe that they're trying to throw a blanket over our faces and distract us with all the other things that they're crazy things that they're doing, to keep our mind off of the real truth. The reality of America is that we're in a recession. I believe we're in a silent recession right now. But I truly believe things are going to get a lot more difficult over the next few weeks into next month. And I think it's going to be a long ride until we're out of this. Even when we do come out of this, how are prices ever going to go back down? How are they ever going to go back down? Life is just fucking hard for all of us. My heart goes out to people that are single. I'm a single dad, but I share custody with my ex. But for the people that are raising kids on their own with no help, I don't even have words. I feel awful. That's why I made a video last week, or I guess it was the other day, on how people could even fathom having a child in 2026. Unless you're extremely well off. So buckle up, guys. I think it's going to be a long, very long summer. Our electric bills, our water bills, the groceries, the gas, rent, insurance, everything. Medicine, prescriptions, everything is going to be, I think, at an all-time high like we've never seen it before. Oh, God. All right, guys. Have a good day. I'm off to see my kid play sports. Try to enjoy the day.
So I'm on my way to Costco to blow a bunch of money on food and supplies. I was in corporate America for over 20 years, and had, accumulated various 401ks that, didn't have a lot of money in them, but like over 20 years, whatever little bit you were able to put aside turns into at least a few $1,000s. I ended up cleaning out all of them. The last one, within the last couple of years, literally just to survive, just trying to continue existing in this world, the system that we're stuck in. Anyways, so the last one I pulled out, we still have most of that in cash, just set aside in like a lockbox in our home, just because I if you're paying any attention to the economy and stock market and shit, it's going to crater in historic fashion sometime, and it's going to be soon, whether it's months from now or if they manage to prop it up a little longer. But anyways, that's to say the money for Costco is I was thinking I was just going to use some of that, but now that I'm thinking about it a little further, I think I might just put it on a credit card, because it's probably going to be better to have cash on hand as we get further into this nightmare. As things get more dire, it's, and we might get to a point where it's cash and carry only for stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying not to freak out, but I'm a little freaked out. I don't know how much attention anybody's been paying to the war on Iran and what the Strait of Hormuz being closed has to do with global trade, not just oil, but supply chains in general, and how everything is already for a lot of countries around the world. We're going to start seeing and feeling the effects of it here in the United States. And just quick example, if you want to know like how this could impact you, I actually have a BJ's, like a big box club near me, and I went there to stock up on a couple things. One of the things that we like there was their brand cocoa, like cocoa powder for baking and shit. So I just stopped by there a few minutes ago. They don't even have a spot on the shelf for it anymore. So I don't know if that's just because for some reason they decided they don't want to carry a pantry staple like that, or if it's because this shortages are already affecting things like that. That's something that you guys can get used to for the foreseeable future.
I'm pretty sure that's going to always have some supply chain issues. You're going to have to worry about ingredients, spices. All right. Some fast food chains are now switching over their different brands of proteins. Right. When they had this style of chicken, you might get this style of chicken instead. You might get this version of beef. And now today you get this version of beef. It all depends on what comes on the truck today.
More and more things that we take for granted are going to become scarcer and much, much more expensive than what they are right now. So yeah, if you have extra cash by chance and you can afford to stock up on food, like a lot of non-perishable or longer term items and household supplies, things like trash bags, if you have animals, cat food, dog food, cat litter, pretty much anything you can think of that you take for granted right now is going to get more expensive and harder to find. I don't think it's fear mongering. And I got to be honest, I don't really recall there being any like crazy shortages of anything the way I was afraid there was going to be. With that being said, I do think the situation is different. This isn't just about trade policy. This is about like physical disruption of global trade routes and global supply chains that provide all the things that we need and that we want and that we take for granted. So, yeah, good luck out there. If you can stock up, and just best of luck to you.
For the people who are saying that those who are telling people that they need to start prepping are fear mongering, one of two things. I have two questions. One, are y'all really believing what the media is telling y'all, that gas prices are really what they are? Or two, how long do you think the government is going to be able to continue to subsidize the gas prices? The prices are being subsidized right now. That can't last very much longer. Experts are actually giving us about 2 weeks before we really start feeling some impact in our pockets at these grocery stores. And we already know most of us have already switched to the digital labels that automatically update the prices right there. So we're not fear mongering. We're seriously telling y'all to stop listening to the media or listen to what the media is not telling you and move accordingly. Like, you don't want to be caught literally with your pants down and having to be in a situation where you can't get your family straight. Think about it. If I'm making $20 an hour and I'm working 40 hours a week and I'm having to pay $300-400 a week almost for gas alone, I can't afford to go to work.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, seriously. Yeah. And it's really so messed up because the way the system is set up, depending on where you live, you're better off quitting your job and literally doing nothing and just living off of welfare. But that's the mindset that they want Americans to have so that you can, by 2030, own nothing and be happy. That's what Elon Musk said. That's what they want. They want everybody to be okay with a universal high income and have the American government give you a monthly stipend for you and your family. You sit at home and do nothing but be lumps on the log just sitting there while the government pretty much do what they want to do. No, we have got to, y'all need to get some food in there. Make sure you have a water source, an energy source, and a power source, because it's going to start with energy lockdowns. Energy lockdowns is going to be the first place to start, and then it's going to roll over to rationings, food rations. I just left my local Walmart. We have no bulk bags of flour, no bulk bags of sugar, so that means people are actually buying it, or they're not getting it in stock, because usually those items are always stocked. Every time I went into Walmart before today, those items were stocked. So either people are waking up or they're not getting access to those items. It ain't just us being paranoid, it's us being realists.
There's going to be a time where, you just go to your canned food aisle and that's going to be just long gone, bro. Like, you're really going to not see any of those canned vegetables, those canned meats and those sort of things because people are stockpiling them, which is crazy. Salt, seasonings, those sort of things that just last for a long time. Your quote unquote non-perishables, but damn, bro. I would hate to see what gas prices look like in 2 weeks, guys. Maybe we should check back in. I'll set a reminder to try to check back.
I'm a little behind the scenes of what it's like to be a business owner right now. In the last 7 days, we have gotten a price increase notification from almost every one of our suppliers. Only one of our suppliers actually hasn't sent us a price increase email. And the reason, all of them, are saying that it's because of the Iranian war. As oil can't get through the Strait of Hormuz, meaning everything that uses oils, plastics, fuel, all of it has gone up. So for example, our plastic bottles, these that we ship all of our stuff in, these bottles just went up by 5%. Our packaging costs, just like this, just went up. Our labels haven't gone up yet, but they told us that they're probably going to. USPS announced an 8% increase on shipping costs, which we offer free shipping. So that means our costs, again, go up because we're not passing that on to the consumer. And so then we're faced with a decision. Well, if all of our prices and all of our costs are going up, what do we do? And as a small business, we try not to just go raise prices through the roof, and we try and just watch and see, what is going to happen. As I'm recording this video, literally right now, I just got an email from Amazon saying that they're adding a 3.5% fuel and logistics related surcharge to fulfillment by Amazon, which we don't do FBA right now, but if we did, we'd be paying more in fuel and more in shipping. So this is the trickle down effect, right? It starts with a war on the other side of the world. We're here in the US. And then as things continue to escalate, all of the supply chain gets more expensive. Well, if the supply chain gets more expensive, that impacts us, right? And that's not just us. Every small business, every large company is experiencing the exact same thing, which means that all of our stuff is eventually, even if we don't do it right now, if all of this continues, at some point we will have to raise our prices, right? So if we have to raise our prices, then you as a customer are then having to pay more. So it's this trickle down for something. I mean, it's a global economy. That's what we have. And it's just, there's nothing you can do about it. We're just watching it happen in real time.
But I appreciate you guys watching for today. Go ahead and smash that like button, comments, and hype if you have one. And don't forget to sub. Go ahead and join you on the next video.